And we're back. Yes, here we are for 2025, the beginning of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. It's Group 1, Round 1, and we're in Cusick Park in Ennis, or to give it its official title, the Zimmer Biomet Cusick Park. My name is Killian Whelan, and between now and about 3:30 or thereabouts, we'll be checking out the action between Clare and their visitors Wexford, as they aim, of course, to step down and put down a marker ahead of championship action. Of course, they're in a group that sees them also with the All-Ireland champions Cork, and of course Clare are in with their near neighbours Limerick. Cork and Limerick are on at 4 o'clock in Páirc Uí Rinn. But you're here to watch this action here in Cusick Park, and of course a historic day if you want to talk about it like that. Of course, we know what everything happened on Thursday night, all about a bit of cloth. Well, now we're going to focus on what's on the pitch, and it's between the ladies of Clare and Wexford. So make sure you stick with us and join us here throughout what should be an entertaining encounter. These two, of course, met in the league back in Enniscorthy. It was a 1-point win that day for Clare. So will Wexford be coming back out for revenge? We'll wait and see. Or will Clare be looking to bounce back from the disappointment of that league defeat tantrum and set off the championship on a good footing? It's all to come over the next 90 minutes. Do stick with us. Now, the man we see on camera here is John Carmody. John, this is what we all, I suppose, have been plodding through November, December, January for us to get out on a dry pitch and good weather championship action, of course.
That's it. Since last October, November, everything has been geared towards this All-Ireland Championship Series now, and I suppose a huge game here today between Clare and Wexford. So preparation is done now. We're just hoping we can bring a performance heading into the first round. Now,
I know people say it's round 1 or whatever, but I would imagine this is a game you might have targeted, John, to get off to a good start, especially when you're in a group with the All-Ireland champions, of course.
Sure, look, this is a critical game for Clare and Wexford. The form over the last few years, the form in the National League would suggest that the top two teams in the group will be taken by Cork and Tipperary, and there's a three-way battle between ourselves, Wexford and Limerick for that precious third spot, if you like. So this is an All-Ireland final of sorts for Clare and Wexford here today. I expect a huge battle, and we're just hoping that the home venue and the preparation we have done, that we have enough to come out on top.
So you're under no illusions, John, and this crew, what you're fighting for ultimately within this group?
Oh, absolutely not. The players know what's at stake here today, as do Wexford over there. James Dooley and his players. This is probably one of the biggest games we faced in the championship in a number of years because of the consequences of it. Victory, and we've another home game to come in 2 weeks' time against Limerick, and we'll have 2 weeks to prepare for that. So we're looking at nothing less than victory today is required from us, but I'm sure Wexford will be looking for the same.
It's weeks now since the Division 1B final. How did you bounce back from that disappointment? Because it's probably a game you probably would admit you didn't really show up ultimately over the full 70 minutes or so.
Yeah, I guess we lost the toss and had the breeze at our back in the first half, and we didn't maximise use of that breeze, and we learned a lot from it though. Young team, development team. We had an excellent league campaign. Being quite honest, looking at the final, maybe another year in Division 1B in terms of this team's development won't do us any harm. Winning breeds confidence, and we won a lot of matches this year and got to give a lot of young players experience of playing National League. I think in total we used 34 or 5 players throughout the league, so the league was very beneficial to us. The victory or the defeat we learned a lot from, and we've worked a lot in the last 5 or 6 weeks to try and correct some of those errors we made in that final, and we're hoping we won't make the same errors here today.
Wish you the best luck, John.
Thanks very much. Thank you,
John. Now we talked to the Wexford camp and James Dooley. James, in your first year, obviously, of Wexford manager, championship action, as I mentioned to John Carmody, this is what we do all the late nights and long evenings for, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Look at all the slogging is done now since last November, and it's days like this, you want to put it to the test, and look, we come up here, we're positive, we've done a lot of work. Unfortunately, the league maybe, but look, we're looking for a big win here today. I think we've done a lot of work, we've done a lot of preparation, and I think we're well prepared for the game. So look, hopefully get a bit of rub of the green now as well and a bit of luck.
You are similar obviously to Clare. You see, this is obviously a target game when you consider you have Cork and Tip in the group.
Right. Yeah, no, look, it's a target game for us, and again Limerick next week is another target game, and look, I know sure John is there and they're focusing the same way as what we are, so look, again it's going to be a ding dong battle here. There was a point between us separate as they're in the league, so look, few changes in our team, few changes on their team, so look, it's all out war now between the two of us today, and may the best team win.
Looking at your team as well, a lot of experience obviously, and those as well who have had recent college experience. Do you think it's knitting together in the last few weeks after the league campaign?
Absolutely. I think every week we're together. Like if you look at Wexford, we're kind of in transition. We've a lot of new girls into the squad, and look, it takes time to build a team, especially like when you look at girls. You train maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but realistically you put that into hours, it's very little time. And I think any seasoned team, take your full forward line, they will know what their half forward line players will do instantly when they get the ball. And again, every day we play a game, we're always learning. Girls are learning, and I think, look, we're comfortable where we are right now, but I think we've a good bit more to do as well.
And lastly, of course, we know about the history that happened on Thursday night. Focus on that now. I'm sure girls have made up their own mind of what attire they're going to be in, but it's all about the action on the pitch as well now.
Absolutely. I mean, nobody goes to look at a girl wearing a pair of shorts or a skirt. It's about the game and about the talent, and I think whatever the girls want to wear, I think it's a fair choice, and it's probably the right outcome, to be honest. I think our girls, we don't really have any say in it. It's a player issue, so look at whatever our girls want to do, we're happy enough to back them.
Wish you the best luck, James.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
And you're welcome back here to our commentary position high up in Cusick Park. Actually a fine location for to watch this game, just above the pitch. And we'll run down through the teams quickly, seeing as we have our Ron Naveen on the way. We're not aware of any changes, but we'll endeavour to identify them if we can. Clare will line out with all the Dailies on the field of play. That's the triplets, and Jennifer, of course, in the half-forward line. But we start with Rachel in goal, Rachel Daly of Scarf Ogonlow, her sister Susan then out in the right corner, Clare Hare at full-back, and Sinead O'Keefe in the left corner. Linda Daly, Abby Walsh and Daniel Griffin are the half-back line, Niamh Mulqueen, Caoimhe Carmody at centre field, Caoimhe Cahill, Andrea O'Keefe and Jennifer Daly the half-forwards, and Roisin Begley, Anya O'Loughlin and Zayan Spillane in the full-forward line. So you have our Ron Naveen as we get ready to get our players into position. Let's say hello to the famous Darren Kelly, who's tuned in. Was expecting to see me in shorts today. Thought about it, contemplated Darren for a while, but it's a fairly heavy rain here now at the minute. As we get ready with Wexford, Kiva Steedman in goal, Karen Tompkins, Maria O'Dowd and Claudia Jackman, the full-back line half-backs, Amy Cahill, Orla Synod and Roisin Cooney, Laura Dempsey, the captain of Glen Barntown, alongside her clubmate Chloe Cash. It's an Acorn, Muireann Fitzpatrick and Linda Bulger, and then the full-forward line of Emma Tompkins, Leah Furlong and Joanne Dillon. But we do see number 29 in, so I'll endeavour to find out, not listed in the programme. I'm sure we'll try and locate the number and the name as we get going. Change of referee as well from what was listed. Colin McAllister in for Andy Larkin. And the last time I'll mention it, there are players wearing shorts and there are players wearing skirts. Freedom of choice as Clare gets straight down, hitting the town end, and there is a mark from Roisin Begley. And we would have seen Roisin do that for True Clonlara, of course, as they made the All-Ireland final, club final this year. Straight from the off, got in there and nipped and ducked and dived, slalomed their way in and knocked the ball over the bar. So opening score into the town end for Clare here, who've started already a bit of purpose. Clare here knocking this ball down the wing, asking an awful lot now of Anya O'Loughlin, her captain, to get over there, and looks like winning the race is Karen Tompkins. It's eventually cleared by Miri O'Dowd from the famed Owler de Bala, but breaking onto it are Clare, full of endeavour and purpose here. Andrea O'Keefe from Aina Kilnamona getting inside Orla Sinnott, settling on this, knocking it towards the post, but she's pulled it to the left and wide. Chance kind of big in there for Clare here with just over a minute gone, but they lead by a point to no score. The first point of a championship 2025, unless something happened up in Owen Beg. Of course, Derry entertain Kilkenny at the moment in their group game here. It's Wexford getting control of it with Linda Bulger looking to play this ball across, was searching out Leah Furlong and also Miriam Fitzpatrick. I think it's run it all the way through to Joanne Dillon, but it's Clare to come out from the back with it. And in the hand of Niamh Mulqueen from Broadford. Was cut out there by Linda Bulger, but it's Clare win it back. Very skatey now on top, as you imagine. The ground is rock hard underneath. It was out there, as you can imagine, the last 3 weeks. We haven't had a whole lot of rain, but that rain there now overnight, and also now in the last 40 minutes or thereabouts, putting a nice little layer on top that will skid, and that's a lovely little duck inside there by Andrea O'Keefe. She got this one right. She has. It was nearly like a minute ago she was getting her measure. Exactly 1 minute ago she put the ball wide from a similar position, and a minute later she rectifies that, and it is Clare that have started the brightest. As we know, we heard from both managers, this is their All-Ireland final essentially. Imagine to think that in round one, looking to lay down a marker. They know, of course, that they're fighting out, and no disrespect to them, I think they're being honest there. They're fighting it out for the third place. Clare, Wexford and Limerick with Tip and Cork, and look at this off the shoulder running again from Clare, opening up this Wexford defence at the minute. There's no stopping Clare, who are so full of the joys of summer, bouncing off the turf. And Zian Spillane setting up that opportunity there that was put over the bar by Caoimhe Cahill. And we know what the UL student, we've seen her with UL this year in the college's action, what she can do. And of course the two UL students linking up there, and after 3 minutes we've cleared 3 points to no score. Live here from Zimmer Biomet Cusick Park. And again, Spillane trying to get on this ball here. The Fecal Kilnamona woman who's definitely, in the last 18 months anyway, has turned into a fine inter-county player. Someone who's taken on a leadership role, and will be someone that'll be over the place balls. But Wexford, who have, as I said, a change, if not two, but we haven't been notified of them, so fortunately can't be able to identify that player wearing number 29 at the minute. As that ball breaks on. If anyone wants to let me know, feel free to on social media. As that ball is broken down by Clare, won back by Wexford though. Danielle Griffin wasn't able to hold on, but she was helped out by Andrea O'Keefe. Ball breaks for Wexford, and it's Castletown Lee Mellows right outside Gorey for Muireann Fitzpatrick getting the ball in, and here's a chance for Wexford. Look, definitely like a pull of the jersey there. Shot coming off. Andy Larkin was allowing the advantage. Emma Tompkins was trying everything. Of course, the two Tompkins on the field of play for Wexford here. We've the Dailies for Clare and the Tompkins for Wexford. And referee Andy Larkin, I have to say now, being a bit generous maybe in the way he was having a chat there with Susan Daly. Probably giving her a little warning. Maybe it's early days in the championship action, but it was a fairly heavy tug of the jersey. 5 minutes gone. This will be a chance for Wexford then into the end of the ground here at Zimmer Biomet Cusick Park. There's all the sponsors getting their shout, and ball is put over the bar by Joanne Dillon from that place. Ball from the Garog cushion zone area, of course. That's the opening score for Wexford. James Dooley's crew looking to bounce back from that Leinster final loss to Kilkenny last weekend. On the move to Wexford. Management for Clare quite happy with the movement, and this lady is full of endeavour. Roisin Begley, advantage being given. Hurl has gone from her opponent. Zayan Spillane looking to step inside on her left. Advantage continued to be played, but Clare have put that ball over the bar, and it's the two corner forwards on the scoreboard plus 2.5 forward line. And at the minute, Clare forwards causing all sorts of problems, and they have now 4 points to their name on the board here. 6 minutes gone, full of endeavour are this Clare team, just a lot livelier than Wexford. Wexford just need to get their hands on the ball and get it moving, but Clare at the moment in the tackle, really, really strong. And that ball played forward by Jennifer Daly. Jennifer, of course, younger sister of the triplets. Rachel in goal, Susan at right back, Linda at right wing back, and then Jennifer is on the left side of the half forward line. As that ball played across, so full of strong running there. Clabon's Leah Furlong, hassling Harry, but she's helped out by Roisin Cooney. But it's a rob there again now from Clare, down along the wing looking for Spillane, looking to get inside Susan Daly here. Jinking and jiving, there's a chance here. Jennifer Daly's made all the way forward, but Zayana's going all on her own. She pops that ball up and over the bar. Second point of the game, second in succession. And she's got 2 in the space of 40 seconds. And at the minute, the Wexford defence really, really suffering. Sharp puck out taken to Miriam O'Dowd by Kiva Steedman. And the Cranford Monaseed lady dropping this ball down on top of Joanne Dillon, who's the only scorer of the game for Wexford so far. Looked like an illegal pull of the hurl there by the Clare player, but Andy Larkin allowed the play to continue. Ball is played back by Linda Daly. Goes back to Sinead O'Keefe, and then delivered long by Niamh Mulqueen. Over the head it goes of Orla Sinnott. But clash of the ash there as Miriam O'Dowd got out in front of Anya O'Loughlin, the captain from True Clonlara. Of course, the team that went on to play an All-Ireland final against Sarsfields. And Clare coming strong. Clare here, as it happens to be. Good dual player in their time. Back playing Camogie, of course, in the last few months. Played very well for them in the league. They were unlucky in that league final. Of course, came up against an Antrim team that were slow burners in the campaign and really showed their mettle in that final. Clare probably will look back on that, a game that they didn't show up in wholly. Here's Wexford, though. Got inside. A chance for Laura Dempsey of Glenbarntown, of course. That in the crowd met him literally 5 minutes ago. Well, maybe make it 10 because the match is on 8. But Laura Dempsey gets to score the game, of course. Dad Tom here in the crowd watching this encounter in Cusick Park, and it's a good score. She probably had more time, Laura, to get on that ball and move it inside, maybe herself, and maybe even look for the back of the net possibly. But ball knocked down along the wing now, where it's an interesting battle between Zayan Spillane and Karen Tompkins. Official over on the far side. They are getting drenched at the minute. Gesticulating towards the town end here of Zimmer Biomet Cusick Park. It is the first round of action, but that sideline cut doesn't work out, and it's registered as a wide. Maybe it could have been better use of possession there, but Clare continue to lead here. Points by Roisin Begley after 1, Caoimhe Callan and Dre O'Keefe after 3, Zayan Spillane with 2 and 40 seconds. That brings them on to their 5. Wexford with Joanne Dillon after 6 and Laura Dempsey after 9. 1 from a free, 1 from play as the ball is knocked long. Anya O'Loughlin, she's inside now. She could have kept going. She decides to go for the score and she's pulled it to the right and wide. I think she thought that the cornerback was going to get across from Wexford, but both of them, the cornerback and the fullback, lost their footing, and Anya had a chance there to keep going, but they decided to have the shot first off. Chance gone a big and could have been our first goal. As ball played down the wing here now by Wexford, needing to settle into the game. Our number 29 sending that ball across field, picked up by Emma Tompkins. Emma playing a nice ball inside. Here's an opportunity maybe that might fall for Joanne Dillon, but the ball's left behind. Opportunity still for Wexford to have a shot off. Oh, it's batted away there at that near post by Rachel Daly, and there was nearly our first goal. Out for a 45, tight to that post. Here we get to see the replay. It just ran through the players. As you can see, it's skirting along the ground that little bit, and Rachel Daly took no chances. Daly, of course, alongside her sisters of Scarf Gunlow, tapping that ball out, and it's going to be Joanne Dillon from Rathgar Cushionshown and Wexford in this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship, our first game of the Championship season 2025. Group 1, Round 1 encounter. Don't forget Cork and Limerick. They throw in a Parky Rin at 4 o'clock as Dillon stands over this, and she puts that ball over the bar. The umpire going for the flag. Joanne Dillon has a serious record on place balls, and that makes it 5 points to 3 here with 11 minutes gone. Our coverage, of course, here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel, as we will throughout the championship campaign. Wexford now just maybe turned over that puck out and getting a little bit of release, but she hung her head there, Linda Bulger. She sent that shot off because it's gone out to the right and wide. Wexford's first wide. Clare's been told to get on the break, and Clare did that well, skitting off the ground, but it didn't come off the Wexford player, and it's out for a Clare sideline ball down underneath us here, right in front of the Wexford dugout. Clare down here to our right, John Carmody and his backroom team up on their feet at the minute, just having a chat. James Dooley keeping an eye on things and pointing players in the direction. Clare, probably, if you would talk about a Clare team that are a little bit further down the development road, I think, than Wexford. James has admitted that they are a team in transition, and referee has spotted a foul inside before that sideline was taken, and it's going to be a free. Andy Larkin spotting jersey pulling and all sorts going on, and he's given a free just on the football arc that Zayan is going to, imagine, stand over this. Clare, of course, with a Division 1B final appearance, lost Antrim, then the Munster semi where they lost to Cork, and their last meeting with Wexford was in the league, Division 1B. They came out on top in Enniscorthy that day by a point, 2-9 to 14 points. There you have no good angle of what's ahead of Zayan into the town end here at Cusick Park, as she knocks that ball up and over the bar, and as we said, has become very, very consistent on place balls, especially this year. 12 and a half minutes gone on the clock. It's double scores now. Short ball taken. Anya Loughlin trying to get in there. She nearly pickpocketed Tompkins as that ball breaks into the middle. Wexford with their centre back Orla Sinnott looking to direct the ball this side. A bit of military camogie going on left and right as ball breaks. Really our first ruck form in here. Balls have been moved quick, and that was a quick pop pass out there to Laura Dempsey as one of our point scorers, looking to play this ball into the corner where Leah Furlong, she was expecting her, but Clare Hare is there to knock the ball down along the wing. Oh, lovely little flick on there by Clare's number 10, Cueva Cala. Has that in her locker, of course. Further down along the line now, asking for a lot of Anya O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin trying to get across, but it's knocked out there by the Wexford defence. It's going to be a sideline cut for Anya O'Loughlin. And going over there, it looks like to take it is Andrea O'Keefe of Aine Kilnamona. Of course, Wexford full of, or Clare I should say, a team full of representatives from teams that have been challenging at Munster Club and All-Ireland semi-final and final level in the last number of years. The likes of Aine Kilnamona, Scarf Gunlow, and of course the latest one, Trua Clonlara. So lots of those with experience, and of course then as well in Ashburn Cup and Purcell Cup action. Some of these Clare girls, as Wexford as well, would have played in some big games. Cut out though. 2 sideline cuts haven't gone well for Clare though. That's probably the one negative if you're to talk about that. 14 minutes gone here in Zimmer Biomet Cusick Park, and it's Wexford staying in touch. 6 points to 3, but Clare have been very, very fluid down towards Furlong. Inside her maybe is Muireann Fitzpatrick. She's on the 20-metre line, but she elects to go short, and a little bit of jinking and jiving shot at the post. It's gone out to the right and wide there. Missed chance for Wexford. There was space there that could have utilised, but they didn't. And chance gone a biggin for their number 13, Emma Tompkins. Quarter of an hour gone then in our first championship match of 2025. It is Clare 6 points to 3 ahead. And here reads that well again. Popping the pass over to the right hand side. Further on it goes out to Andrea O'Keefe. Andrea being cut off there by Roisin Cooney, but the ball is popped in then over the top, looking for O'Loughlin. Gets the paw on it, pops the ball back outside. Now, bit of space there potentially for O'Keefe. O'Keefe going to have a shot into the town end. It's going to drop short into the grateful hands of Kiva Steedman, and she comes out around the Clare attack and pops the pass out to the middle. Ball breaking. It's Clare over it, Wexford over it, and then the referee says there was a push on the back there of Karen Tompkins, and she gets a free out. Ball breaks out. Clare, I have to say, half back line playing very, very well, cutting off a little bit of the ball, and this is some bit of ground that's made up by centre back there, Abby Walsh. Scarf Ogunlo, of course, played for UCC in that Ashburn Cup final, offloading the ball here, and Clare on the attack again. A little bit of a handbrake pull, blocked down well there by the Wexford defence. That looked like a bit of a foul, but the referee allowed the play to continue, and of course, Colin McAllister closer to the action than me. Alex said he saw nothing in that bit of a ruck, and a Clare chance gone a big, and they probably needed to come out of the traffic a little bit, as Wexford now try to put on a little bit of a spurt up the field with their captain Laura Dempsey popping it in, but it's right into the grateful hands of the Clare full back line, and in particular Sinead O'Keefe. Rain has let up that little bit, but I know we are down for a bit of rain in the southwest for the next couple of hours. It was fairly heavy there. You could call it drizzle falling about 20 minutes ago, so surface on top is a little bit skatey as trying to get on this ball now. Emma Tompkins uses her body well, but leaves the ball behind, and then I think Susan Daly is adjudged to have been fouled as she was trying to get possession of that ball, and our first real stoppage. It lets us draw a breath here a little bit as the Clare player is attended to. Kilkenny lead Derry by 1-9 to 2 points. 16 minutes gone in Owen Big, and it's 6 points to 3 here. Kilkenny, now Katie Nolan just getting the goal there. We know the talent she has. All of their forwards practically have scored as well. Steffi Fitzgerald, Laura Murphy has got 4 points from centre forward. So Kilkenny not going to get cut out by Derry. And in Owen Big, they're in control there even after just a quarter of an hour. Don't forget Galway and Dublin coming up at 4 o'clock along with Cork and Limerick. There's Premier Junior action on as well with Roscommon Armagh, Laois Wicklow and Louth playing Tyrone alongside under 23 as we focus back here on Roisin Begley. Got the opening score of the game. She's got her second one here. And Roisin Begley, when she runs at that Wexford defence with 80 minutes gone, is causing a little bit of consternation. So 2 for Begley, 3 for Zion Spillane, 1 for O'Keefe and 1 for Caoimhe Cahill. Those are the scores for Clare. 3 for Wexford, 2 from Joanne Dillon and 1 from Laura Dempsey. Hold up in action over on the far side as a Wexford player is tended to. So it's a bit like buses now. We hadn't had a break, and now all of a sudden a little bit of a pattern stoppage as we have a look at over there. Okay, so Chloe Cash is the one wearing number 29. I thought it was, but I didn't want to hazard a guess that that's who it was. So Chloe is wearing 29. She was listed as number 9. I think it got blood on her jersey, so that's why she's in a change. Okay, clarify that. Thanks to Wexford Camogie. As Wexford get on the break here now. Clodagh Jackman. Clodagh from, of course, Glenbarntown, the Wexford champions, as that ball is flighted in, but it's gone out to the left and wide all the way across the goal. And I don't think Wexford can afford these kind of chances. A change coming, and it's number 19 for Wexford coming in. That's Sive Buttle from Kilrush. Played with the UL second team in the Purcell Cup final, and it looks like there's a change inside in the full forward line. So Sive Buttle is in, and 19 minutes gone, and it looks like Leah Furlong is the one that's coming off. So going to try something different, maybe the Wexford management. So ball breaking out along the line here. And it's a tough play from Clodagh Jackman. She doesn't shy back, Clodagh. Cutting in on that ball there on Andrea O'Keefe. Clodagh, I believe, teaching now, if memory serves me right. Shortly going to be enjoying the holidays. As that ball flicked away by the Wexford defence, it's going to be another Clare sideline cut. Sideline cuts on this side going a bit better for Clare than the ones on the far side. 110-2 for Kilkenny now over Derry. And it's, as we can see, 7 points to 3 here. Hopefully enjoying the action. And Clare, commentator's curse. But the ball is picked up by Niamh Mulqueen. Gets it into the middle where Abby Walsh directs it in the direction of O'Loughlin, and coming onto it like a light there with the form player at the minute, Roisin Begley, with her third point. And she is absolutely gliding on top of this ground here. Just got on to that, and despite the attentions of the Wexford defence, was able to knock that ball over the bar. And here's another sheet of rain coming across the town of Ennis from left to right here. We did hear in the forecast it would be hitting the southwest and then the rest of the country. But I'm sure there's farmers out there and gardeners and landscapers and everything delighted to see a bit of rain. As this ball breaks forward, Daly's got to be quick in the Clare goal. She got out, but she didn't get enough on it. Wexford now have an opportunity. Shot coming low. What a goal! And the pressure has been told to be kept on by James Dooley. The pass inside from Emma Tompkins. The ball to the back of the net. And probably one of the best goals that you will see. An acorn. And with slipping and everything, and the Clare players coming in on top. Back of the net. And that's just what the doctor ordered from a Wexford point of view. To get back into some element of keeping Clare honest and getting themselves in this game. I was thinking she was going to go low, and she went high and picked it out the top corner. Probably Rachel Daly just coming out losing the footing, didn't get enough purpose on the ball away in the clearance, and Emma Tompkins was onto it like a light to set up an acorn for that cracking goal. Oh, 2 goals in this year's championship, one coming for Katie Nolan, knows where the back of the onion sack is herself. And one for a lady that doesn't know where it can be on the other occasion too, an acorn from Owler de Bala. That famed club, of course, on the outskirts of Enniscorthy. So with the rain and everything behind them, his free is taken by Wexford. It's a dangerous ball. Daly just got a chance to bat it away. Clare Hare is there trying to stop the advances of their substitute to come in, Sive Buttle. Side from Kilrush Club, so she's alongside her clubmate Emma Tompkins. Rain starting to come in on top of us here a little bit in the commentary area, but it's Clare that have battled out with it over on that far side. Looks like the ball has gone out, and the linesman over there has gesticulated it's going to be Wexford ball. So James Dooley, I'm sure, will be happy. After that opening 10 minutes, looked like Clare were maybe going to put a bit of distance, but that goal has obviously helped, but it's only 2 points, and there's 7 minutes remaining. But again, Wexford are playing with whatever breeze is there with them on the back. Ball breaks off the back of a number of players there, and it's Clare that react the quickest. Oh, lovely little bit of a flick away though, and an opportunity there to come forward here with Muireann Fitzpatrick. Referee says that she was fouled. The Clare defender's not happy with that. But, well, Muireann maybe using some of her experience. She was surrounded. And it's a free in. And a chance here now for Joanne Dillon to narrow the gap now to just 1. So after that quick fire start from Clare, and as we said to you, had 5 points in the first 7 minutes, things have just started to dry up a little bit. And the free going to be taken by Joanne. Has already got 2 to her name. You'd expect her to get this one. Into the Aldi end of the ground here at Cusack Park. From left to right, Wexford are attacking. And yeah, she gets that and puts it over the bar. 25th minute of the game. Wexford, I'm sure James Dooley be happy with the response. 8 points to 1-4. Puck out to come then from Rachel Daly. Over looking for her sister Jennifer. That's her younger sister. Daly though comes off her feet, tries to use her body to block off Muireann Fitzpatrick, and it may have come back on the Clare side, and it's Daly somehow that wins it back. Jennifer giving it to Niamh Mulqueen. Across the far side it goes, but Wexford wing back, Roisin Cooney reading that well and gets the ball off of Wexford, got the leveller, ball is inside Daly, spun up off her hurl, has to get it at the second time of asking and pop it out here towards Clare here, a bit of a late challenge, and the referee is going to give Rachel Daly a free out, I think, from where the ball landed in that pass after that late challenge. Rachel Daly just living dangerously there as that ball taken well now by Orla Sinnott. So Wexford, after growing into this game, Clare, letting that ball skirt between the legs, but reading it well again was Clare here, just where you want a full back to be. Over to the far side now, looking for Caoimhe Cahill. Caoimhe trying to get in there, but it's Wexford that win the ball back. Just keeping ticking over, and as I said, I imagine James Dooley, Dermot Marr, James Dooley, Darren Stamp, RJ Blake and Liam Butler will be happy with how their charges have responded. I know the goal was probably a vital factor, and they probably do need some of their other forwards definitely to get in the game, but if they put this over the bar, they are level with 4 minutes to half time. 112-2 in Owen Begg. It is the Glendimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. It's Group 1, Round 1. Cork and Limerick come up at 4 o'clock in this group. Galway and Dublin come up in the other group at 4 o'clock. Ball is flighted in, and that's on its way tight to that post. The umpire goes out to make sure it's gone up and over the bar, and Wexford, after that jittery open 7-8 minutes, now find themselves level, 8 points to 1-5. Clare will probably be scratching their heads as what has gone wrong here. And that's a fine score, considering that heavy rain. And I imagine the slitter is gone that little bit heavier too. The hurl is wet. Fine score from Joanne Dillon. She's got 4 frees in this first half. Sideline ball over on the other side, on the far side. Clare probably haven't threatened the Wexford goal in the last 6-7 minutes. I have to say, have been sporadic enough probably in the last 10. As getting on this ball is Andrea O'Keefe, looking to play a ball into the corner. The Wexford defence seem to have got the handles with Anya O'Loughlin in there, Zayan Spillane and Roisin Begley. Begley now is just off the loop there, being kept an eye on by Claudia Jackman. But somehow Cahill has got this ball out. Now a chance for Clare. Haven't had too many. It's not a great ball. Has to be kept an eye on by Caoimhe Steedman in there, looking to get away from the attentions of Begley. Gets the ball out. I think Begley got a touch on that. It's going to make its way to the sideline. It's going to be held up though. 2 Clare players going in on it. And it's Jennifer Daly looking to play the ball inside, and 2 Clare players on the ground. Looks like Zayan Spillane got a bit of a side swipe there as she went to pick up on that ball, and it's going to be a free in anyway. Yeah, she just turned in. Not that I don't think the whole lot that the Wexford defender could do, but it is did he give a card? I think he has. Colin McAllister. Thought I saw his hand, or maybe he was just pointing in the direction of the free. Seemed to look in the direction of Karen Tompkins there. Didn't think there was a whole lot the Wexford player could do. Cyan kind of turned into it a little bit more, but anyway, chance for Clare to go back in front, and as I said, haven't threatened the Clare goal or the Wexford goal in the last 7-8 minutes. So Zayan, 3 to her name, 1 from a place ball into the town end here at Zimmer Byam at Cusick Park. And she puts that ball up and over the bar, puts Clare back in front. Going into the final minute of the game. Additional time, maybe about a minute or 2, as the ball breaks, and it's Dillon. Looked like she got a bit of a How did Joanne Dillon get that ball away? Falling down, bit of a touch, probably should have held on to possession there. Emma Tompkins tried to get a ball moving quickly, maybe on the skaty surface as rain falls again. Linda Daly this time trying to get that ball forward. Clare looking to come with a little bit more purpose, and it looked like a bit of a wrap across the Clare player there, and it's going to be a free in and a chance. Will Spillane take this one? She's out and ready, all standing over it. Looks like Anya O'Loughlin pull out to the middle, and now John Carmody wants her to go back in. She came out there, I think, just around the half-hour line midfield to get on that ball, and maybe he wants her in there in case this ball breaks. But Zayan being told just to get moving there. Linesman watching the action that she's at. Good stance over that ball, good height on it as well. It looks like it's on the way. The umpires are nodding and the flag is going to be waved. Zayan Spillane with 2 frees in the space of 40 seconds. She got 2 points from play in the space of 40 seconds in the 6th and 7th minute. And now she's done it just on the half-time blower here. 10 points to 1-5. 1 minute of additional time to be played. So we're 10 seconds into that. And Clare have just given themselves a little bit of a pick-me-up heading into the half-time team talk. I'd imagine jerseys, if there can be a change in them, it might happen. The hair might be dried. The hands might be dried. Everything else might have to be dried out because, said, that's fairly heavy and it's sitting on the grass out here. That's fairly skatey as a band of showers moves across Cusick Park here. 1-14-3. Kilkenny lead just on the half-time whistle as well. That's in Group 2. All the way up to home big for Tommy Shefflin and his charges. Bouncing off that win in Leinster last week where they defeated Wexford, who are here at the minute taking the fight to Clare. 10 points to 1-5. And as we heard from both managers, and it's not just me saying it, a vital game for both teams, laying down a marker, knowing that obviously they have the big two in the group, Cork and Tip, to come in their last few games. This kind of mini tournament within a tournament might be played out in the next couple of weeks. Clare taking on Limerick in 2 weeks' time. Wexford take on Limerick next week. As the half-time whistle goes, Colin McAllister has seen enough, and it's that little bit of a shot in the arm from Clare there towards the end. It came, of course, from their taliswoman Zayan Spillane with 2 frees on 29 and 30 of varying different lengths. She has put them in front at the break. I'd imagine James Daly would be happier of the last quarter performance. John Carmody, I'm sure, will look to rise his charges again. They know how important this game is and getting 2 points on the board with the fixtures that are ahead. But at the minute, it's the home team that lead in the Glendimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 1 Round 1 encounter. 5 points from Zayan Spillane, along with 3 from Roisin Begley, 1 apiece from Andrea O'Keefe and Cueva Cahill, has Clare on to 10. And the 1-5, 4 from Joanne Dillon, 1 from Laura Dempsey, and a cracking goal from Ine Kern has Wexford on 1-5. So repeat that again. Half time here from Zimmer Boyum at Cusick Park. It is Clare 10 points, Wexford 1-5. And welcome back. As you can see, both players coming out. They avoided some of that rain that has been continually falling out for the last number of minutes. Hopefully it won't impact too much of the second half, but it's definitely going to have an impact on the field of play. And imagine boots wet, socks wet. Let's see if a few dried out. Don't think there's been any change, but just to catch you up in case you missed it, that number 29 in the middle of the field is Chloe Cash. Chloe was down to wear number 9. She's wearing 29 because of a cut she received during the warm-up. Half-time up in Owen Beg. The other game at 2 o'clock in Group 2. Kilkenny 115, Derry 3 points. The 4 o'clock games, of course, Galway and Dublin in Group 2 and Cork and Limerick in Group 1. So this game takes on a bit of a life of its own, as we've already talked about. 10 points to 1-5. Half an hour gone of action, a half an hour to go, and Wexford maybe looking to lay down a bit of a mark here. Straight away, Orla Sinnott getting this ball forward. The Clare defence swarming all over the Wexford attacker. Ball hits the deck. Referee's going to call a halt because a Wexford player that went into that ruck came out. A little bit of a knock to the ribs, I think. Just gingerly getting to her feet. Andy Larkin, though, didn't see a whole lot wrong and just called a halt to the play. So no, he's actually, has he called a free in? Or throw ball? Throw ball. Just the way, there was a shout there to get on the line. Thought he was ordering a free in, but our first real ruck of the game, Foreman. It's Clare that come out with it as they attack from the town end to the Aldi end of the ground, of course, just over the far wall there. As Andrea O'Keefe plays that ball into the middle. Caoimhe Carmody. Caoimhe looking to drive on now. Has been met there by Laura Dempsey. Gives it to Cahill. Cahill loses her footing. Has to go back around again. Third time of asking, gets in her hand and somehow is there to pirouette over tackle and give it off to Mulqueen. Mulqueen having a shot. Up and over the bar. And Clare getting the last 3 points. Opening up now that lead again, where they might feel they have a little bit more control. Just in the Premier Junior, Laois leading Wicklow 11 points to 2 is the one score that we have in that. We'll try and keep you updated. 116 to 4 now in Owen Beg. They're about a minute or two ahead of this game as Cash brings on this ball, shorten the grip to try and get it inside. Muireann Fitzpatrick has advantage being played, looking to play the ball on alongside Laura Dempsey there, but referee has called it back for the foul that was on Laura Dempsey as the rain beats down on the roof ahead of us. Probably can't see it too much on your TV screen, but here's Joanne Dillon now standing over this from Rathgar Road, Cushinstown, looking to get her 5th point of the game and get Wexford up and going for this second half. Into the town end. Oh, she's missed it. And that is a bit surprising. But the conditions were against her, of course. That rain into the face and the wind kind of coming from diagonal across the field from my left-hand side. If there is a breeze, but it's driving that rain a little bit, and it's fairly well coming down now at the minute. As I said, it's disappointing. First championship game, and we're playing it in the rain after the last 3 weeks we've had. Of course, this was well forecast. As that ball breaks over on the far side. Wexford at number 19, of course, there that you see Sive Buttle. She was in from the 19th minute. She replaced Leah Furlong. The lineswoman over on the far side has shown the way of Wexford ball. Wexford keeping that pressure on, and Clare struggling to get the ball out. And in these conditions now, that maybe fluidity that was there in the opening stages of the game might be more difficult, because balls slip out of hand and slip off the hurley and also off the foot. And there's more rucks now forming in the last while, because conditions have probably evened up the pace a little bit. suiting Wexford now as an Acorn. The goal scorer gets in there. The referee says that she was being fouled. And one of the backroom team for Wexford heading over there, I'd say, with a towel to dry the hurley of Joanne Dillon. And looks like that's it. She's trying to dry it on her sleeve, but practically impossible, I'd say. Dillon standing over this, 4 points and a wide to her name. A lot more difficult angle from where she had a wide. She's put that one across the goal and it's out to the left and wide. The chance has gone a bit for Wexford and they would have been back within one. So Clare with the score from Niamh Mulqueen, the only score of this second half. Ball breaks away to Chloe Cash off of her midfield partner Laura Dempsey. Wexford are in over it though. Caoimhe Cahill trying to go down the ball but got a bit of a nudge, but coming through on it. Looks like it's a foul being committed on Clare's number 11 there, Andrea O'Keefe, but she keeps going somehow. She eventually cut off, and it's Wexford's number 7 Roisin Cooney from Glenbarntown that picks it up and gets the ball inside, giving it to her clubmate Laura Dempsey. Dempsey getting the ball off, but left behind Orla Sinnott. Getting on to it now, Caoimhe Carmody. Carmody off of to Andrea O'Keefe. Oh, lovely ball inside. Oh, O'Loughlin was just waiting for it to pop up into her hand, and probably her reach just wasn't close enough to get that slitter in full grasp, and it got away from her there, or she was in a one-on-one. And credit to Anya not giving up and chasing back out Claudia Jackman there as Wexford tried to get this ball out. And turning back into a little bit of traffic there was Karen Tompkins, but she's extricated herself enough to get this ball away. Danielle Griffin trying to get over that ball, but it's Wexford to keep it moving over on that far side with Buttle. Buttle now knocking it on, trying to get it in the direction of an Acorn. And as I said, got a cracking goal. I'm sure you saw it in the highlights, and we'll see it at the end of the game as well. Keeps Wexford in touch in this game. 116-5 in Owen Begg, as Wexford looked like they were turning and going there in that move with Joanne Dillon, looking to pop a ball across, turned around at the right time. Opportunity maybe for Wexford now, and their corner forward Emma Tompkins coming back around the house. That ball is dropped short, might work out for Cash. Referee is calling it back. It's going to be a free in, and the determined work there of Emma Tompkins, a factor in that. Joanne Dillon played a lovely ball in. Tompkins just turned at the right time, but Clare defence got back to cover, and then Cash was in there. That ball was eventually to break, as you can see there, away from Chloe Cash, or she could have driven on to that and maybe troubled Clare goalkeeper Rachel Daly. Chance out for Dillon, her third chance. Not going to put the curse on this. Inside the D. Shortens the grip. Puts that ball to make sure over the bar, and Joanne Dillon has got her 5th point of the game with the 38th minute up on the board. 1 point apiece then in the second half, 11-1-6. Ball breaks in Clare's favour, but gets worked by Wexford, and it's an Acorn that gets this ball inside to have a shot, and she puts it over the bar. And I think if you feed an Acorn with the ball, there's an opportunity for Wexford. And they've narrowed the gap again. She got inside. She was just Susan Daly stood off her too much, I have to say. And then now was swapped inside, puts that ball over the bar, and it's the minimum between the teams again. And Wexford have got 2 on the bounce in the space of 50 seconds. Ball breaking off of Orla Sinnott there. Wexford have the advantage. Looking to drive forward now was Laura Dempsey, but the referee is calling back, and it's going to be a yellow card, I'd imagine. I think this might be the first of the game, because I'm not sure he gave a card to Karen Tompkins earlier on, and it looks like Muireann Fitzpatrick is going to get a card here. She was asking why, but Carl McAllister in no doubt that Muireann deserved, or Andrea O'Keefe, sorry to Muireann there, Andrea O'Keefe deserved that. Looking at the 2 number 11s. So 29 for Wexford is Chloe Cash from Glenbarntown. Played that ball forward, cut out though by Niamh Mulqueen. Gets it back to centre back Abby Walsh, and she clears it down along the line. 2 Clare players there, and it's a ball played inside by Zayan Spillane, but a little bit over the top of Cueva Cahill. Of course, 2 players that would know each other quite well. But overplay the ball, foul on the ball, and it's taken by Orla Sinnott down here towards an A corner. Goal in the point, a pull of the jersey. Susan Daly is surely going to have her name in the book here. That was a bit petulant from young Susan. Clear pull. I don't think Susan is even going to argue there with Carl McAllister, but she might now be a little bit under pressure here, because it looks like Anae Curran is the one that Wexford are feeding the ball. And if Susan gets cut out again here, Clare could be in a little bit of bother as regards numbers. But anyway, 2 quick yellow cards for Clare, Andrea O'Keefe and Susan Daly, as Joanne Dillon with the chance to level it up, but tried to allow for the wind and everything. And she's recorded her 3rd wide of the second half, and they've all come in the last 7 minutes. 3 wides from her, but she's also got a vital point as well. It remains 11-1-7. Wexford, you feel if they get level, could really start asking a few questions of Clare. Clare struggling to get maybe to the heights that they were in the first half. I think the weather has levelled things up here a little bit. And it's centre back for Wexford, Orla Sinnott. It breaks out from the Fern St. Aidan's club, giving it into the middle. And again, here's Anae Curran. She's the out ball now, it looks like. And she's taking it on here to Susan Daly, who's got to be very, very careful in how she plays Anae Curran. Gets her hand in and gets a flick away, but Wexford are there, and eventually referee says there was a chop in. And it's a free in and a chance for Joanne Dillon again. Straight out with the towel again, the lads are. Is it going to be Cash? Maybe he's going to stand over. It's actually going to be Chloe Cash that's going to stand over this. But now Anae Curran is standing over it. So it was just trying at the hurl. So Anae Curran now from Owler to Bala got a cracking goal and a fine point there to narrow the gap. Has a chance. Is she thinking of dropping it in or going for this? We'll let the angle work itself out here. I would imagine she's putting this over the bar. Into the town end then, chance to level the game up. Has pulled it though, across it a little bit tight to that left hand upright. It's another wide for Wexford, and it's 4 in the second half. Change for Clare. Number 18 and number 19 are coming in. Ellen Casey and Cleena Queely are in, and it looks like Susan Daly is gone. I'm not surprised at that one. So 2 Daly's gone. So I think Susan, that was coming after the yellow card. And now Jennifer has joined her, and coming on are number 18 and number 19. Ellen Casey, of course, Newmarket and Fergus, part of the UL team that won the Ashburn Cup. And Cleena Queely from Moyna Kilnamona was on the Mary I team, of course, that won the Purcell Cup. So they're in. And remains on the board though 11 points to 1-7. Wexford will and possibly could rue those wides. 4 now and all in the second half. Clare come on the attack down the far end. Andrea O'Keefe. And ball is over the line on the far side. Lineswoman saying it's going to be a ball that will be Wexford's. Going to be taken over there by Amy Cahill from the famed Rathnewer Club. Sideline cut to be taken, but the referee's not happy with something, Carl McAllister, and he's just having words with Andrea O'Keefe. Andrea's got to be careful, she's on a yellow card, so I need a little back chat now at all. Got to be just sure. I think she was arguing her point there that it was a sideline ball for Clare, and now it is, so maybe justice works its way out there somehow for her. But anyway, ball to be taken. Looks like O'Loughlin standing over, gets a cut, nice little sandwich into the middle. Don't think it was the intended target, but Clare have possession coughed up again, and Clare, John Carmody will be a little bit concerned about the fluidity that's gone lacking as Roisin Cooney makes a serious run down to the 45 metre line. Going to be kept in moving by Linda Bulger. Ball though is cut out there, and it's Clare's Cueva Carmody gets that ball back, but a bit of a loose pass, and Clare having to fight for it a little bit here. as Wexford trying to get in, and it's all a little bit unsightly, a little bit here. One person has it, then it falls, and someone else picks it up. Now there's a bit of a ruck, and Chloe Cash is in there, and eventually trying to get it out. Muireann Fitzpatrick was in there, but it's Clare's number 11, Andrea O'Keefe, that comes out with it, and she knocks it long. Clare need to get a score, you'd feel, just to maybe take some of the pressure off. They're playing well within themselves now, whatever has gone on after that opening 10 minutes. Got the 2 points before the half time and 1 before, and it's a lovely take by the lady that's just in, Ellen Casey. That's a cracking score. Ellen Casey, big hand up, took it on the bounce as she was coming down, flashed it straight over the bar, and now they have twin towers in there, Anya O'Loughlin and of course Ellen Casey. Both of them will know where the scoreboard is, so that could be a target practice now for Clare. Ellen Casey with a fine score, taking some of the pressure off with a quarter of an hour of action gone. Now down into corner, Zayan Spillane. Haven't seen a whole lot of Zayan in open play in this half. Looking to play the ball in, was a little bit too intricate, and the Wexford Claudia Jackman picks that up and knocks it out to a position of where Anya O'Loughlin was trying to get it, but it's a bit of a loose ball from Wexford from their number 5, Amy Cahill, and it's knocked out over the line, and Anya O'Loughlin's going to take this. Chance maybe inside. Looked like there was a Clare player free, and that's the direction it's going, all the way across to the full forward line, but it's well read there by Roisin Cooney. Caoimhe Cahill probably should have been ahead of her as this ball breaks out. Clare lead 12-1-7. I'd say a bit of nerves playing in this game now as well. These two know how important this first round is, as O'Keefe goes from distance, driving it in, but driving it to the right and wide. Clare, I have to say, have been economical enough. It's only their third wide of the game, but John Carmody not happy maybe with the option there, as the puck out comes from Caoimhe Steedman. 10-1-5 at half time. It's 12-1-7 in the second half, as you were essentially. Chloe Cash knocking his ball down the far side. As a ball kept in play there by Wexford, but Clare Hare gets that ball into the middle. Caoimhe Cahill getting in a little bit of a way there of Roisin Begley. Roisin quite strong in that opening half, struggling maybe to get just into general play. But she gets into the general play there now. Stop Caoimhe Cash, a lovely hook. Cash was thinking of a long range score. Clare have turned that over with Linda Daly. Just 2 Dalys on the field now, 1 in goal and 1 at wing back. Susan called ashore, and as was her younger sister Jennifer, trying to get back there on that ball. Karen Tompkins loses her footing, but she somehow held on to that ball despite the pressure of Zayan Spillane. Cutting inside there, Miriam O'Dowd giving it back. Over here it comes to Emma Tompkins. The two Tompkins sisters not far away from each other as Emma looks to drive forward now. Here's a shout from the far side of the field, tries to deliver, but Clare Hare, using all her guile and experience, read that ball well, comes driving out with it, makes 40 yards, and she's still going, Clare Hare, over into the Wexford half. Driving this will be some inspiration score. If it goes over, it's gone out just to left and right. She throws the hurl up in the air. She was wishing that over, and it just went out. It would have been a cracking effort from Clare Hare. It would have been worth the admission fee, as Clare bring in another sub. And it is number 22 that is in place of Andrea O'Keefe. And again, I think it's a sensible one. Andrea, probably the legs starting to run out a little bit too, but also she's on a yellow card and was a little bit petulant with the referee a few minutes ago. And it's Aisling Cooney who is in after 48 minutes. Aisling, of course, was from Partine Malik, was part of the UL second crew that were in the Purcell Cup that lost out to Mary I as ball played forward. Of course, a number of Clare players involved with all those universities, as Zayan goes for this tight to that right hand upright, but it's going to go out to the right and wide, and it's another wide there for Clare as the Wexford get ready to make a change. Number 18 is coming in for them. It's Grace Roach, another one from the county champions. Grace Roach coming in here after 49 minutes of play, and she's going to replace the number 11, Muireann Fitzpatrick. So the two number 11's gone. Roach, a popular name down around the Glenbarntown direction, as Wexford look to get back in this game again. Driving on with Chloe Cash. Have Clare done just about enough? But still they're in touching distance as Laura Dempsey and Chloe Cash tried to take the drive on. and eventually popping the ball in on top of that new football arc, of course, that 40-metre arc. It's worth 2 points, of course, but in Camogie it's just the one, as Joanne Dillon takes a fine point from play, her 6th in all. We click on to the 50th minute, and it's a 1 point game again. 12 points to 1-8. Lovely score, bouncing off her left hand side, tightening the angle as it went along, but in by that left hand upright. Lovely score in the Glen Dimplex All Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 1 Round 1 encounter here in Zimmer Biomet Cusick Park, where we have Clare taking on Wexford, knowing how vital this game is for both sides and setting out a stall for the rest of the championship. Both teams play Wexford in the coming weeks. Wexford playing Limerick next week. Clare play Limerick in 2 weeks' time. So whoever wins today, we look at the target Wexford or Limerick, and Limerick will be targeting them as well to try and get 4 points on the board. It's, as I said, a mini tournament within a tournament as such, with Cork and Tipperary also in the headlights. As the ball plays the forward, Spillane, no need for a mix-up here now. Wexford have got to be clever. Miri O'Dowd got her body there and gets the ball out to Karen Tompkins, and eventually cuts out further here to Roisin Cooney, and eventually cleared by Wexford. Zayan was waiting there for a touch off the Wexford hurl there of Joanne Dillon, looking to keep it in play, just a little bit unlucky as she tried to play that ball forward. Kilkenny well on the way to the points up in Owen Big. They're even making the changes there. 2:20 to 6 points they lead in Group 2 Round 1. The next game coming up at 4 o'clock, of course, is Galway and Dublin. Katie Nolan with 1-1, Aoife Prendergast 2 points, Steffi Fitzgerald with 3, Cueva Kermar with a point, Laura Murphy with 6 points, Mary O'Connell with a point. Sarah Barco has also got 3 points there. Just looking for the other goal, and it's come from Sophie Holden. She's got a goal and 2 points off the bench for Kilkenny. Well, here the battle is still being taken. Wexford are within a point. Still going on here is Laura Dempsey, but really should have held on to that. And I'm looking at a spare player that was in there. Emma Tompkins could have possibly been a target for that ball there, with just over 8 minutes of normal time to go. Still in the melting pot. Both these teams know how vital a win here would be here. It's amazing to think that it is such importance after round 1 of the Glen Dimplex All Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. And here's a chance for Wexford to get level. The pace that Clare started the game, as the rain comes down now a lot heavier than it has been. It's fallen for the whole second half. But Clare, I think the weather has just levelled up how hard it was to maybe make those off-the-shoulder runs and bouncing off the ground. With opening 10 minutes, Clare looked like they were going to shoot the lights out. As this shot comes in, it's gone to the left and wide, and the only thing that's kept Wexford away from being level or not ahead in this game has been their wide count. That is, by my reckoning, their 5th. And another chance gone a begging for them. That one there, that time from Ine Curran, the goal scorer. That's 2 for Ine, and there's 3 for Joanne. But Joanne has also got 2 vital scores in this second half. But Wexford still very much in this, as the ball goes down right into the far corner. Oh, lovely take there. Combination in A. Curran setting up the chance for Grace Roach. Roach looking to step inside, but she's been held up by Clare Hare, who's been fantastic out there today, I have to say. We'll be thinking about players of the match shortly. But it's Cash that comes out with it. Giving it off here now to Emma Tompkins. Tompkins looking to have a shot, but it drops into the keeper's hands. Wexford just can't get that level and score. Ball down along the far wing, where it's Cueva Cahill, the Kilmaley lady, looking to get forward, but she's dragged it out over the line. The lineswoman is telling Colin McAllister it went out over the line. And a chance, you have to say, tiredness and everything like that, chance gone a big in there for Clare maybe to build on something. 2:22 to 7 up in Owen Beg. It's 12 points to 1-8 here as Clare bring in number 17, Aoife Anderson, who was also on that UL seconds team from Rouen. And she is coming on to the field of play in place of Clare's number 9, Cueva Carmody from Kilmaley. Quiva giving overall there. Ball breaking in the middle. Rain is just lighting a little bit, but it still is falling. Everyone fairly damp, probably except for us up here in our cosy surrounds in the commentary position. Lovely spot to watch a game here in Zimmerboyum at Cusick Park. Free to be taken by Cash. The third different taker, but look at Clare. No messing around there, batting that ball away. A dangerous enough place to bat the ball away, but taking no chances that it was going to hop. The number 19, Cleena Queely from Aina Kilnamona, playing that ball up along the wing, looking for Zayan, but reading that well. Karen Tompkins let it beat her, but the ball went out over the line off for hurl, and it's a chance for Clare. You feel if someone got a score here now for Clare, it might be enough. Would Wexford have turned it over? Has this got a draw written all over it? As the ball is delivered long. Chance for Wexford now. A bit of an overlap here. One of the Wexford players needs to commit to it, and it's Linda Bulger. Bulger stepping around the house now. She's been cut off by the Clare players, and the chance gone a begging potentially with the ball in free movement. Clare did that very, very well, you'd have to say, because Wexford had the advantage. They blocked up Linda Bulger, and the chance gone a begging for Wexford. But Wexford trying to get the ball down at the far end. Trying to get in there and win it was Roisin Begley. Has potential of a match winner all about her. Had a fine first half with 3 points. But it's Wexford have got it back somehow with getting in there and winning Claudia Jackman. But driving onto it now is Clare's number 22, Aisling Cooney. Ball is still there with Zayan Spillane putting the ball in, out to the left and wide, and Colin McAllister not interested in any foul or anything like that. Some of the Clare players there were reckoning that might have been an option, but chance gone a begging. But still Clare lead, but they are in a fight here. It was a 1 point game in Enniscorthy back in the league. Clare won by 2-9 to 14. Today the goal is being got by Wexford. 12 to 1-8. Clare come again, driving onto the ball. It's their leader, no doubt. Clare here, missed one already. She's going for the juggler here. She's still going, Clare, still going, but she's been dispossessed right on the square. You wonder why. She just didn't tap it over the bar. She had loads of room, 20 metres out. Now she's up in the forward line. Maybe keep her there and see, can we get a ball in if you're a Clare point of view. Ball goes a begging. Clare have a chance. Abby Walsh, they're the ones in front, of course. Giving it to the lady, got a vital score when she came on. Ellen Casey dropping this ball in and dropping it over the bar. She's got 2 big scores for Clare, and that might be enough to relieve the pressure. With the run by Clare here, that of course upset the whole thing, but I think she could have taken an easier option. And now if Wexford are to get any here, you feel they have to find the back of the onion sack. And they've got that once today with an acorn. You wouldn't doubt that they wouldn't again. But that could be a vital score. Breaking play as a Wexford player being treated. Quiva Cahill coming over for a bit of water. John Carmody, of course, conscious of crossing on to the pitch. Wexford player down. It's just been attended to there. Looks like a little bit of winded. It's number 5, Amy Cahill. She's up. Amy maybe took the knock, but also just taking some of the pressure off as Wexford now have to come hunting. Ball out to the break in the middle where it's picked up and driven on here by Clare's number 5, Linda Daly. Linda pops it. Oh, lovely little pop pass to Aoife Anderson. Goes to ground though. That's the problem. Once it's on the ground, it becomes a bit of an ice rink, and a shoving the back on the Wexford player there, and a bit silly. Clare, I have to say, have gone down a few blind alleys, despite the fact that they're in the lead. I think they've just got into a little bit of a physical battle here that they may not have needed to. Whereas you have to credit Wexford. I think they've forced Clare to play their game a little bit. Ball breaks in the middle. Here again. Delivering this ball long, down on top of Ellen Casey. Casey trying to get in there and get on that ball. Have the Wexford defence done enough? Zayan is in there. Spillane looks like trying to go back and win it. Karen Tompkins. Tompkins went down on her knees. I thought she got a little bit of a nudge from the back. Or was it Miriam O'Dowd? One of them anyway out there facing the end line. maybe they were playing, looking for a sympathy free, but it's gone out for a 45. And you'd imagine if Clare put this over the bar, that's the game. Don't forget, in this group, Cork and Limerick in Páirc Uí Rinn at 4 o'clock. Kilkenny were well on the way to the points in the opening quarter. They now lead 224-9 against Derry. Second game in that group coming up is Galway and Dublin. That's on the way also at 4 o'clock. So 30 seconds of normal time remaining. Zian Spillane stands over this. She's got 5 in the game. This is her first real shot at goal in the second half. It's dropped short, flicked. Ball is breaking there on the edge. O'Loughlin was in there and also was Anderson, but or Casey I should say. Referee said there was a push in the back, so nothing from that. Ball breaks though. Cahill popping the pass off now. Spillane being surrounded by purple and gold jerseys, but has she enough room to have a shot off? She does. It's over the bar, and I'd say that's the cherry on top. Her first score of the second half comes all the way in the 61st minute. Zian Spillane with 6 points. I think there was mention there of how long was left. Just missed it, but we play continue. 3 minutes. David tells me. David O'Shea on camera duty. Owen O'Brien was here with us as well. So Wexford no need. If they want to get points, they're going to have to find the back of the net. Clare being urged to get back. Clare here standing in the pocket trying to watch what Chloe Cash is going to do. She's read that game, and she gets the touch that gets it back out to Sinead O'Keefe. Ball is on the ground though, and Clare have got to be careful here. They lead 14-18. Ball out to the middle where it's taken by Karen Tompkins. Tompkins to Orla Sinnott. Sinnott with a low ball trying to play it across now. Wexford have numbers, and A. Curran could probably go for a point. There's still time. Looking to pop the pass into Cash. Cash though going to have the strike off, and that's a good score work by Wexford. You wonder why they didn't do it earlier than that. Ball is over the bar. 62nd minute. There's still 80 seconds or thereabouts to play here. As the puck out comes. So Wexford now in a position, a goal wins them the game here. And it would be, if it does, the same score with opposite winners to what happened in the league encounter in Enniscorthy. Sideline ball goes in favour of Wexford. Now with a bit of urgency on all sides. Sive Buttle takes that, goes backwards. Looks like there's a bit of light appearing in the sky. Don't think it'll be sunshine. It's not expected. But Cueva Cahill might light up Cusick Park here. Flicks that ball back. Clare just have to hold on to possession. They've 1 minute to do so. Over here in the direction of their number 17, Aoife Anderson, settling on the ball, striking it, make sure it goes dead, and it does. Wide for Clare. They've been more economical on the scoreboard, and I think James Dooley, when he reflects back, the wide count that Wexford knocked up in the first 10 minutes might have come against them here a little bit. They were very much in this game, even though it didn't look it in the opening 10 minutes. It's the way Clare were cutting through them. Chloe Cash gets a flick on that ball, was picked up by Niamh Mulqueen, got a big score the start of this second half, just to keep the scoreboard generously for Clare, but they did find themselves then in a bit of a battle, and it's been a battle throughout with this Wexford team not giving them a whole lot. Zian Spillane, look into the space. Wexford now with or Clare now with the opportunity to drive it over the bar, and they could have gone searching for a goal there, but they made sure of the point, and it came from Roisin Begley. She stood out in the first half, has been a little bit quieter in the second half because she's in a different role. But she's probably got, again, the insurance. 15 points to 1-9. Ball breaks for Clare. Covering an awful lot of ground today has been Niamh Mulqueen. Ball played forward. Batted away by Wexford. Out into the middle. Will Colin McAllister give them one chance? It's in additional and well over now at this stage. 10 seconds over that 3 minutes. I think he's going to call it. There it is. Wexford have succumbed to Clare. Eventually, it was a right ding-dong battle here. Clare found themselves in a battle. They know both teams face Limerick in the coming weeks, but Clare, you heard from John Carmody at the start of the game, knew it was all about putting down a marker here and getting the point, because they knew Limerick is coming up next, that it's a mini tournament within a tournament as such with themselves, Wexford and Limerick. So it's Wexford and Limerick next week. Unfortunately, if Wexford were to lose that would seem to be their season over, which you never know, of course. They'll still have games to play. But here the action has seen Clare. They were in a ding-dong never really, apart from that opening 10 minutes, stamped their authority on the game. 5 scores to 4 in the second half. And it went all the way close to the end here. So, Glendimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 1 Round 1 encounter. Full-time score here sees Clare come out on top by 15 points to 1-9. And in Derry, it sees Kilkenny win by 326 to 9 points. So, Kilkenny, as was expected, to win that game in Owen Begg comfortably enough. Coming up in Group 1, of course, will be later action. We have Galway and Dublin and Cork and Limerick in the 4 o'clock games. But here in the Glendimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 1 Round 1 encounter between Clare and Wexford has finished up in victory for Clare by Clare 15 points, Wexford 1-9. We're going to announce a player of the match, and we'll also hopefully hear from the winning camp as well on the victory here for Clare. Stay with us. All right, Clare here is with me here now talking about the response to that, the performance in your second half, Clare. You were in a right ding-dong battle there, as you probably were expecting, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I think you could say two very evenly matched teams. We knew it was going to be a battle. When we played them in the league, absolutely nothing in it then, so knew it was going to be the same again today. Just have to say well done to Wexford as well. It was a brilliant game.
We talked about with John, you know how important this game obviously was at home, you know how important the next couple of weeks are to probably set you up in this group, because it's no disrespect to you, it probably is that battle for that third place, isn't it, ultimately?
That's it exactly, I think we were realistic about our target this year, and that today was a massive step forward in that target. Wexford did the same. We know we have our two must-win games at home, so we have to make the most of them, or else you're looking into two tough battles down the road to Tip and down the road to Cork.
Do you think it was good to bounce back, let's say, the league performance? You played so well in the league, probably disappointed league final, obviously Munster Championship, but I know Championship is what we're all about playing, and getting off to a good start is obviously important, no matter what the group stages and everything that means. Is getting back on the horse and winning is important.
That's it exactly. We took a lot from that league final against Antrim. I don't think we kind of did ourselves justice. The performances that we put in over the league kind of just fell short. We knew we got off to a very bad start, so you could see today that's what we really focused on, a good start. I know we dipped and we fell apart, and obviously Wexford got their purple patch, so it's just about how we deal now with other teams' purple patches, and I suppose you could see that we obviously had learnt a lot as well. We were able to bounce back again.
And lastly, Clare, on everything that happened Thursday night, players happy now to be focusing obviously on playing, I suppose.
Yeah, you never want to all your attention does want to be on the playing field, and kind of let the hurling do the talking. So, no, we're delighted to get it over the line. The choice is kind of what everyone wanted, and just have to say well done to everyone who stood up and fought. Really it's the players' voice that kind of made that change, and just well done to everyone on that.
Well done, Clare. The rain is getting a bit heavier, so we'll let you in. Congratulations, our player of the match.
Thank you very much.
That's Clare here then speaking to us here this afternoon. We're going to wait on John Carmody. He's just been interviewed by local media and whatever as well, but Clare here getting the nod on our player of the match. Of course, a number of players there did have to dig deep and fight in that encounter. So what we might do, David, is just pull it back for a minute until I get John. He looks like he's going to be a long interview here with local media, and we'll resume with John Carmody to finish up our broadcast here. Welcome back here to pitch side. We just let that latest burst of rain blow off, John, but you won't care. You're a happy man.
Delighted with the win. Huge test of character. I say hats off to Wexford. Coming in half time, 2 points down against the Breeze. They threw the kitchen sink at us there in the second half, and I suppose the key was, we matched them for work rate. Our tackle count was exceptional in the second half, and they never got the equaliser, even though they pushed hard for it. And delighted that our girls showed the composure and rattled off 3 points there at the end to get us home.
Yeah, that important bit of character if you're to take any positive from it ultimately, John, because that opening 10 minutes you looked like you were going to maybe blow Wexford away, the off the shoulder run and everything, but conditions probably changed and that probably impacted the game a little bit, did it? A little bit,
and I suppose I felt the goal was probably a little bit against the run of play. A great goal by the Wexford player, to be fair now, but probably a defensive lapse from our point of view. But once Wexford got that goal, it injected a bit of belief into them, and they came at us in spades then. But we'd be very happy defensively. We held them out, and I suppose our bench ultimately, we're on 4 subs there from midfield up, and huge contribution from Ellen Casey at full forward. So delighted with that.
Yeah, defensively, let's just talk about that for a minute, because when things were getting, I would say, where all hands were needed on deck, like I'm just thinking about Clare, the imposition that she had, Mulqueen as well. They were kind of players that stood up in around those breaks, ultimately that were falling, and ultimately came out on their way in that second half.
Yeah, look at Clare Hare is one of the best players in the country, and she showed it out there today. Real leadership, her bursts up the field there to take relieving pressure off the team was outstanding. Niamh Mulqueen covered every blade of grass in the middle of the field. She had an outstanding game today, and I guess we have to mention Roisin Begley as well. 4 points from play, that's a huge contribution, and the rest of the team. You can't be carrying anybody at this level, and they worked hard today. This win gives us a chance now to go and contest the championship. We've Limerick here in 2 weeks' time. We've 2 weeks to prepare for it, and we know how important that game is. So Limerick will come with known the importance of the game as well. So it'll be another ding-dong battle, but hopefully we can winning is an important thing, and hopefully this gives us a shot in the arm for training Tuesday night. I'm
sure you'll be watching with interest Clare or Limerick and Wexford next week, because that I'm sure will set you up then, knowing what you obviously have to be doing here when you're back here in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, look, we'll have a look at it. I mean, obviously the results are a barometer of form, and I don't know how Limerick have got on today against Cork, but that's on at 4 o'clock, so we'll be watching that as well. But no, we have worked through with our own team now. There was a lot of positives today, but there's work to be done as well, and we have a great bunch of girls there. They're willing to work. They're good management team behind them, good coaching setup, and we'll review this game today now. We'll see where we can improve and build on that.
Can I just ask you though, around that, do you think, was it conditions or Wexford kind of, a little extra bite? Would you be concerned maybe that you probably might have played Wexford's game a little bit in that second half when you probably could have, put your own stamp on it?
Yeah, I felt we lost our shape up front, and so in the last 10 minutes I was roaring out there that we took our shape back up. Our half forward line pushed back up the field, and we felt we were losing around the middle for a while, and we brought out Roisin Begley, and it did stem the tide a while, but that was taken away from our own attacking game. So we went back 6 on 6 there, if you noticed, with 10 minutes to go, and that was the period that we kind of got back into the game and got the few scores that got us over the line. But look, it was a game that could have gone either way. Wexford missed 3 or 4 frees there, and another day they could have gone over the bar, so there was nothing in this game. I think Wexford can take heart from it as well, and delighted with the win now, and looking forward to getting ready for the next day out. And
on you march.
On me march.
Thanks, John. Thank That's it then. So John Carmody giving us his viewpoint here on what has been a damp and wet Cusick Park. Definitely getting the feel of what the players were facing into throughout the last 65-70 minutes or thereabouts. Hopefully you've enjoyed our first championship encounter here then of the 2025 season, with Clare taking on Wexford. We'll be on the road again next weekend, where we'll be. Keep an eye on social media, and all that will be brought to you, of course, during the week. But with my thanks to David and of course to Owen in the background throughout the afternoon here at Cusick Park, I've been Killian Whelan. We'll talk to you soon.